Welcome to Raw Talk, Real Healing.
It's like therapy, but with more laughs and less copays.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Diana.
We're licensed therapists.
But here, we just want to have raw and unapologetic conversations.
So come vibe with us. We're professional meets personal.
Let's get it.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
You look cute with your glasses on.
Thanks, girl. They're a little broke. Just got a new pair. They'll be here December 18th.
18th.
Can't wait. I got two pairs. I'm going to come on here like with my new attitude glasses.
How you feeling? Are you ready for the holidays?
I'm getting there. I'm in the spirit. I feel like it's happening. The stress is lowering. I'm ready for it.
Okay.
The weather today really did it for me. It was nice and cold, crisp. There was a little snow. I was so excited. Just kind of wish it was going to snow for Christmas, but maybe it will.
Maybe. I know. That's why I'm so comfy cozy right now because
Yeah,
I hate being cold.
I do too, not me going out on my way here for an outfit change.
Well, let's get into it then.
That's right.
Can you believe episode 20?
Literally, I can't believe this. I was in a session the other day and one of my clients said something and I was like, oh my God, me and my friend just recorded a podcast about that. And they were like, oh my God, wait, you have a podcast? I'm like, yeah, I didn't tell you. So pretty sure we got a new follower.
Okay.
I was like, you should really watch this episode. It was a really good one. Oh, I think it was the vlog.
Oh.
Because they were asking me about ART.
Oh. I had so much fun making that vlog, by the way. I wish we could do that all the time.
I feel like we could. So if you're listening and you liked the vlog style episode, comment down below of like something you would like to see us do together. Like something that we could do, but then still kind of have our same kind of discussion.
Therapist edition.
Yes. So today's episode, we're bringing it all the way back to the beginning. I feel like we discussed a long time ago, 19 episodes ago, what our purpose of our podcast is. And every recording session, if that's what you want to call it, or every episode that we have, we pick a specific topic to kind of talk about. But today we really want to focus on, our population, our listeners, who our followers are, which to us are the people who are scared to go to therapy, the people who don't have access to therapy. So today we're going to go over questions that you might want to ask your therapist, or maybe you're too scared to ask your therapist. So that's our perspective today. What you're scared to ask or tell your therapist.
Love this. Let's get into it. So let's talk about first questions related to like client-therapist relationship. Okay. You ready?
And I think we're going to put a little spin on it. We're going to answer this question as a therapist, but also as like if you were asking your friend this.
Okay. Right? It's a little twist. Okay.
We'll see how it flows. If it sucks, we'll stop.
Okay. Question number 1. Do you care about me or is it just your job?
Okay. This is a question I feel like I get a lot. And I guess I can only answer it from like my experience. So I feel like as a therapist, are there people in this field who just come for the paycheck? Maybe. I think that can be true for any position, any job. But I would say for myself as a therapist, I truly enjoy connecting with others, sharing with others, and helping people. So I genuinely do care about each and every one of my clients. Yes, it is my job, but I love my job. And when I come to work and when I sit down in that chair and I get to have, however many conversations a day, I connect with each person differently and I care about each person differently. So I would say, yes, I care about my clients. I love my job and it just works for me.
Yeah. I think especially in this work, and
Yeah.
again, like you said, there's going to be people who just show up for a paycheck
Right.
because that's naturally who they are, or they're just miserable in some,
Right.
shape or form. But like for us, like we came into this because we want to help
Right.
people. You
I
know what I
feel
mean?
like in the helping field there has to be a level of you who does care about people, who does want to help people. I can't imagine sitting in this seat every day and being like, I have to fucking listen to this bullshit all day long. Ugh.
Hmm.
No, I genuinely want to help people. That's why I'm here. It's not just because I'm getting paid.
Yeah,
I just get to have fun while I get paid. Not everybody gets to say the same.
I know. How lucky are we?
Extremely.
Yeah. I like that answer. I feel like my answer would be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like a personal kind of response too.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
therapist point of view and
And a
raw, real
friend.
self.
And
Yeah.
I think even it, like let's say it from the client's perspective. I think the client can tell
Oh
if
yeah.
their therapist is there for the pay or if their therapist is there because they're truly connecting. Because the rapport, I think if you weren't trying to connect with people and weren't trying to help people, there wouldn't be a strong rapport.
Right.
And by rapport, we mean relationship if nobody knows what that means.
Mhm. Okay.
Question number 2. Would you tell me if you thought I wasn't making progress?
That's a good one. Yeah, hell yeah. Let me tell you something, and I've said this before. I'm not in the business of wasting time.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you got people who are coming in who actually want to do the work. And sometimes it's easier for some clients and sometimes it's
absolutely.
not. But like sometimes we'll show up and I'm like, "Okay, so what's up?" Okay. Oh, so this is working out for you. Doing nothing, cuz they'll literally be like, "I did nothing. I didn't do the homework. I just didn't, whatever the case with me." And I'm like, "Okay. So you like doing nothing. Nothing is working for you, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, "No, I really want to, whatever." I'm like, "We've been here for X amount of time.
Mhm.
We got to do like something has to change."
Right.
So like I will spend that time reflecting like, okay, is it something that you that you aren't doing, or do I need to be reflective on maybe changing what
Absolutely.
therapeutic,
What
thing I'm
angle
in,
we're going.
yeah, what intervention I'm using? Do we need a shift? Do we need to do something different? You know what I mean? Because yeah. I
Absolutely.
mean, I know I love talk. We can talk all day long. I love it.
Right.
But like there's no satisfaction or pleasure in seeing you, the client, not doing better.
Right. And like you said, I always take this time to reflect too, but there will be moments where I'll be like, I'm going to be here. You can come in every week and you can sit on that couch and we can shoot the shit.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
right.
But the only person's time that you're wasting is your own. Because why are you consistently coming in here and not doing the work? I always say, like, therapy is not a magic fix. I'm not here to talk to you for an hour and solve all your problems. You have to do the work outside of here.
Mhm.
If you don't do that work outside of here, why are we here?
Right.
And sometimes I put it to people just like that. I'll be like, what are we doing?
Mhm.
And I always say, like, is there something different that you need from me? Is there something I could be doing different?
Mhm.
Because I'll gladly switch some things up for you.
Yeah.
But what do you need for me to help you? Because
Yep.
other than that, I
Mhm.
got nothing.
Right. And I tell my clients all the time, I'm not a sugarcoat, beat
Mm-mm.
around the bush, type of person. And
Right.
like some of my clients, they love that. They're like, I couldn't wait to get in here because I know you're gonna lay it out for me and I know you're gonna be
Yes.
transparent because I can't help you putting a cherry on the top and, doing all
Mm-mm.
those other things. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Like that's not doing nothing for either of us. That's one of the things that honestly, my clients always say, like, "I just love your transparency. Like, I know
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna tell me how it is, and it's not like"
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And I feel like some people do like that, like super supportive, sugarcoaty. But I will say I had a therapist like that once and it was all I knew at the time. And then now I have a different therapist. And when I look at the growth that I've made with this one than my previous one, and who knows, maybe it wasn't the therapist, maybe it was me. I'm not really sure, probably a little bit of both. But I feel like that one never challenged me.
Mm.
She never put me in my place, and I personally need that.
Oh.
So I feel like that's very much so my style at times too. Like, I will be very supportive and like, okay, here we go. Like, let's sit with that.
Mhm.
Okay. But sometimes you gotta be like, hello.
Mhm.
I love when my clients be like, I hate when you're right. That's right.
Yeah. Have to.
Yeah,
Have to.
absolutely.
All right, next question.
Mhm.
How do you not judge me?
Oh, I do. It's like my question always is like, I'm not here to judge you. My This space is yours. This space is for whatever you want it to be. This is your safe space. So my own opinions, perceptions, all that go out the window. I'm here to be here with you, to meet you where you are, and I'm just gonna go with that. Like, sometimes I can tell, I'll be like, did you think I was gonna be mad at you? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, why? That's what we're here for. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna yell at you. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm here to help you through whatever this is.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, why? Like, why would I even get in this business to just judge every person? And I'm like, I ain't got no room to be talking either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I am human as well. Like, I'm not
Absolutely.
perfect. Please don't think I'm perfect. You know what I mean?
Because I'm not.
Because I'm not. And like, even with my young adults, I'm like, you are actually doing so good in life because when I was 22, 23,
Yeah.
24, I don't even know what I was doing. I was nowhere near level headed like as you are right now. Like,
Oh
I
no.
wasn't even thinking about therapy or whatever it was. So, like, take a chill pill.
I was
I'm
popping
not
off.
popping off.
That was mean. I was mean.
So, I get that question a lot too. I'm thinking of a specific person, that says that I know you hate me right now. And I'm like,
I can never.
stop. No, I don't. Like, I don't. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, but that's a good one.
I had this one client come in this week actually, and she was talking to me about like a new relationship that she's exploring and stuff. And she was like, I have a lot to unpack today. I came ready. And I was like, okay. So she starts going on, and I'm like, you seemed really nervous to tell me that. And she was like, I mean, yeah. And I was like, why? Why? I'm like, I'm here to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm. For
Always.
real. For real.
Okay. So not only I think do people have questions about like the client therapist relationship, but I also think they question like their own fears and flaws and how we might react or respond to that and how that might feel, unpacking those things in session. So another question that we kind of came up with was clients always asking like, am I a bad person for thinking these things?
Uh, I get asked that all the time.
Same.
The answer is no. Like, you are human. We
Right.
have thousands and thousands of thoughts that go through our mind every day. And I always say, like, if someone tells you they don't think like that or have negative thoughts or, dark thoughts, sometimes they lying to you.
Right.
It's not possible.
No.
Like, stop, you
And
know?
and one thing I think is important too, like in these moments, I'll be like, listen, there are moments where I have these thoughts too, but that does not mean that I take those thoughts and act on them. Like
Right.
this thought popped into your head. Do we know why? No. The brain's fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
So this thought comes in and you're like a little disturbed, like, what the helly? And then it like goes away. That's fine. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're not out here like thinking about like shooting up a place and then you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Then maybe you're not a good person.
Right.
But like when these things come up and they go, you're good, boo.
Mm-hmm. You're good, boo. No, you're right. I like that. Like when you said, just don't act on those things. You can have the thoughts. Like, listen, with this economy right now, I sure love to rob a bank and get some money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I be saying that, like, but am I gonna go rob a bank? No, I'm
Okay.
not doing that. I be thinking about it sometimes. No, I don't be thinking about it sometimes. But it's like we all gonna have like intrusive thoughts. Sometimes I want to punch people.
I've been thinking about stealing stuff sometimes. Do I steal? No.
That's crazy.
I'm always like, I could literally just like,
Okay, klepto. Yeah, I don't have those thoughts.
sometimes when you gotta pay for stuff, I just be like, ugh, I don't wanna.
You should tell your therapist about that.
I thought we just said I wasn't a bad person. Why are you judging me?
Okay, nobody said that made you a bad person.
That's what we're talking about here.
But I didn't say you're a bad person for thinking that. I'm just saying you're a little cray-cray.
You just told me I should tell my therapist and called me a klepto.
I'm kidding.
If that doesn't equate to I'm no good, I don't know what does.
Stop.
I haven't done that in forever.
Oh my God. I love that.
Okay.
All right. So, another question. Do other people feel this way or am I the only one?
Yes, other people feel this way. If I have like two clients that like align sometimes, I'll like tell the other one, I have this client, they literally just asked me the same thing. It's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with you. You're not alone. I talk about this thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of like an example, but nothing's coming to mind. But yes, my caseload wouldn't be full if other people didn't feel this way. You wouldn't be waiting for your turn if other people didn't feel this way.
Right. It's so common. That question is so common. Like,
Yeah.
yes, people feel the same way. People feel worse. Like,
Right.
let us all, you know.
I just saved a reel earlier, and it was like, do people really feel depressed? Or do people really feel so depressed to not brush their teeth? And they were like, some people feel really depressed. They kill themselves, Shannon. That was the sound on TikTok. I was like, whoa. But yeah, you see, people feel depressed. And there's different levels to this shit.
And talking about depression, if you're wondering what that may look like, check out the last episode on high functioning depression. But yeah, like, no, you're not the only one.
Right.
That's why groups exist. You know, people who go through grief, people who,
Good point.
you know, drug and alcohol programs, like, because there's a lot of people going through the same things. And so, like, you don't feel alone in those instances.
And on that note of this is why there's groups. The whole point of groups is so you can connect with other people, recognize you're not alone, have a community, and learn from others. So, why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm like, yeah, like you're right.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like confused. Like, am I wrong?
No. Like sometimes I want to beat the shit out of your overthinking brain because like it pisses me off sometimes. Like,
You
stop.
look at me like, what?
I'm just like, yeah, that's some good stuff. Like,
Okay, thank you.
and your overthinking brain is like, did I say the wrong thing? Like, no, shut up. Go back where you
How
came
do I
from.
make it through a whole session? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Sometimes I'd be feeling smart.
Clearly.
But anywho, that's the whole purpose of a group. Like, so you can build connections and learn from other people because you are not alone and other people feel the same way that you might feel. And you can learn a thing or two from that other person. Like, hey, this is what I do to make me feel good when I feel this way. That's why this shit's all over social media too.
Yeah.
Because it's relatable. It's all relatable. It might not be exactly the same, but something that helps me might not help you, but something that helps you might help me.
Correct. Yep. Love it.
Just saying. Another heavy topic and part of therapy is trauma. And I feel like people at intake, we always ask, like, is there anything that you would identify as traumatic in your life or something like that? And I always say to my clients, like, I understand if you don't feel comfortable opening up about this just yet, but if you could give me just like a quick synopsis and we can move on. Because it's heavy, it's hard, it's deep. And some people, when they go to therapy, they might not be ready to do that.
Yeah.
So this is something heavy. This is something that's scary about this process, but that doesn't mean you have to go there right away. So, first question, I think fits in this perfectly of my little introduction here is if I tell you something, will it change how you see me?
I don't know if I ever got asked that question personally or in the office, but the answer to that is a no. Like, I always say there's probably nothing I haven't heard yet. Like, can't nothing surprise me. Although I do say that and then something happens, I'm like, God damn, just when I thought.
Being a therapist truly opens your eyes.
No, for real.
I've learned a lot about the world.
Yeah. But like, we are very aware of like why people come to therapy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like we encourage you to be your whole authentic self, in therapy. So like no, I always say there is nothing that you can say to me that I'd be like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like no, whatever it is we're going to work through. We're going to work through it.
Right, and as you're sitting here saying that, I thought of this could be somebody projecting, like, their own shame onto us. Because
Mhm.
I have had a couple people ask me this question where it's like, "Are you sure you don't" like, they'll share with me what the point is, and then they'll be like, are you sure you don't see me differently? I was really scared to share this." And I'm like, "Oh my god, no." Like, there's a reason, and it isn't always a good reason, right? But there's some reason why you went through this, whether it was a survival mechanism, whether it was a defense mechanism. Like, I think I'm just thinking about my specific clients, but the answer is always no. I am not here to judge you or look at you differently because of what you've been through. I'm actually giving you a lot of praise at this moment and a lot of gratefulness that you were even willing to share that with me. So
Mhm.
I always try to go that route in these moments where, thank you for sharing that with me. I know that that wasn't easy, but, how do you want to feel differently about this? How do you want to work through this? Because, this is yours to work through, not mine.
Exactly. I'd say the same, you know. So the next question is why do I feel ashamed even when I didn't do anything wrong?
Oh, you wanted to answer this one. But I think a lot of times people feel ashamed because they're trying to people please. But I think this is also trying to take accountability for something that's not your fault because then in your mind, it's something now you can control.
Yeah. I think there's so many layers to this question too,
Yeah.
though. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking about trauma, right? We're thinking, what if I got blamed for everything? What if everything was, my responsibility
Mm,
on things? And like, so, I always think about those people like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, sorry for that. Like, sorry for that. Sorry for this. And I'm like, could you stop saying sorry?
mhm.
Like, you were doing nothing wrong. Like, you don't have
Right.
to say sorry, but, because of how they grew up, their experiences, it could come from childhood, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That people pleasing, I think we talked about that a little bit before on another episode, you know, but it's one of those things where you have to have awareness of it,
Right.
like where it comes from. And like a part of, you know, bringing that up in session
Mhm.
is like, let's try to find it.
Right.
Let's try to find where that comes from. Let's see how it makes you feel.
Yeah, you wanna come in for an ART session or what?
Yeah, I was thinking of that in my head. Like, let's find that. Let's use some ART. Yeah, so
Okay.
I like that question.
I do too. And this part, these little couple questions we have here, I think kinda go back to that first section that we kinda talked about, like, what is scary or hard about the client therapist relationship, and I think this is the part that can be hard at times. So, people come and they see us either on a weekly basis, biweekly, monthly, whatever it is. Like I have a client that I've literally been seeing for almost 3 years and he's doing wonderful at this point, but like we work through it. We check in and it's great. But I feel like people always ask, "Do you think about me outside of session?"
um, let's put that in context.
Okay.
I'm not at home thinking about you. you know?
What do you mean by that?
Like, I can't have everybody. Literally, I have a lot of clients. So like
Yeah.
everyone's not on my mind.
Right.
But if there's something heavy that we might have processed, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking about that situation,
Yes.
that might pop up here and there. Or like sometimes if it's something that we might have worked on that day and I'm on social media because, the phones hear everything.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh shoot, I literally
Yes.
was just talking about this, or like I like the way they put that. I'm like, oh, such and such would do well hearing this message. And sometimes I'll save it, you know what I mean? And like share it, in the session in that, capacity.
Right.
Or, in those kind of situations, if like, oh, I think this person might like, or, oh, I like this. I want to share this with this specific
Yeah.
client.
I
So yeah.
I definitely feel that way too. I'm not like sitting at home thinking about my clients all day, every day because I have to shut my work brain off,
Yeah.
right? But that doesn't mean that I don't still like carry that with me on a regular basis because I do. But I would say, like you were saying, I can be on social media and I can see something that we worked on in session, or I can see sometimes I'm not the best at, like, articulating my words.
Hmm.
Like, I'll have thoughts and I'm, like, trying to get them out, and sometimes I'll see something and I'm like, "This is exactly what I meant." Sometimes I'll just send it to them. I
Hmm.
have clients that send me stuff sometimes and, like, I'll watch it and usually try to get back to them, like, during the week or something like that, but yes,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about my clients. I think I told you this earlier. I had a client text me earlier today to get back on schedule, and I haven't seen her in a bit. And I literally was thinking about her the other day because I knew she was going away to school. Like, I knew she had a lot of changes coming. So I was literally just thinking, like, oh, I wonder how she's doing at school.
Right.
Like, that stuff pops into my head because
Hmm.
we've built a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a special kind of relationship. Like, I know a lot about you. I know a lot of hard things about you. So I think it would be hard not to think about our clients outside a session. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine not thinking about you.
Yeah. And I just think like not intentional, but sometimes things just do, pop up and like we care. And so like it's
Absolutely.
natural, sometimes to think of this person if you hear something or
Right.
like, wow, I wonder how this person is doing because you might have, saw something,
That
you
reminds you
know.
of that.
Exactly. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like that.
Okay.
Next question. Am I allowed to say I feel hurt by something you said? I like this question.
Absolutely. I think I actually had a moment like this probably like 2 years ago with my own therapist, and she said something that really like irked me. And I remember I just kind of sat with it and I was like, why is this bothering me though? Like, I kind of did that self reflection. I don't think I ever said it to her that it bothered me, but I definitely sat and reflected like why did this make me feel so uncomfortable? Why did I not like this?
What did she say? Is it too personal?
No, no, it was it was
You don't
okay.
have to
No, no,
share.
no. I will. So after I moved back from Texas, I felt like I had missed out on everything. So I came back and I was outside.
Uh-huh.
Outside. I was drinking a lot. Like, I was a little crazy for a sec. And I remember, I forget exactly what the conversation was or why we were talking about this, but she was like, "Oh, like maybe if you can't go out and not get drunk, like maybe you should think about that." And I was like, so immediately I was like, "What the fuck are you calling me an alcoholic?" And I was like, and like then like the whole session like started talking about that, and that's not even what I wanted to focus on at that in that particular moment. So I was just like, ugh. I was so annoyed that that's how I spent my session because of whatever our conversation might have been. But then after I thought about it, like, why is that pissing me off?
'Cause is it true in the
Right.
moment? Right.
But update, I don't have a problem. I don't experience challenges with that. I was just ready to have a good time.
Right.
Might I have been a little bit sad? Yes. But that really did make me mad. But
Yeah.
even in I would say so that was not a therapist perspective.
Mhm.
But I would say I've had clients say to me like, "Oh, I just didn't like the way that you delivered that to me." And I'll be like, "Oh, okay. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. This is
Mhm.
what I meant by that."
Mhm.
And I think that's important because it's why did you hear it that way?
Mhm.
And also, like, maybe I could work on how I deliver things. We're all human.
Yeah. I've never had someone say that, but I definitely leave that door open. Like, please, if if there's something that's not working for you or
Yeah,
something that you don't like, or something that I said, please, because sometimes the way we interpret things are not interpreted correctly,
right. I do get that.
Yeah. And like, so and especially find this during like when I work with couples, when we're doing active listening,
Oh,
and I'm just like, so what did you hear? And like, it'll be like something like crazy. And I'm like,
that is
no,
not what I heard.
that's not what I heard. And that's not what she's or he is saying. You know what I mean? And so
Yes.
I want to work through like, what did you hear me say?
Mhm.
Because sometimes like, oh, if it would, be something like, oh, well, like that I'm not good enough.
I had somebody tell me the other day when she said it was a girl, she was like, "I didn't like the way that you delivered that to me." She was like, "I heard that I'm stupid." I was like,
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
"I
like
did not say
you
that."
might interpret I'm stupid. We would never.
Yeah.
We would
I would
never.
never say such a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe to my brother.
No, not to no one. Like, no, we're not thinking those things, but sometimes you need a different POV.
Right. And I like how you said sometimes when I work with couples, because I also, again, the other day, I had this experience with a mom and a daughter, and the mom is like trying to help the girl like apply to college because of sports and stuff like that. And she's like, the daughter's super overwhelmed. And the mom is like, please, like, if this is causing you so much stress, like, you don't have to play. And then the girl's like, why did you just tell me I should quit? And I was like, she was like, why did you just tell me it's okay to give up? And I'm like, that's not what I was like, that's not what I'm hearing, and I don't think that's what she's saying.
Mhm.
And even in moments where I think maybe I'm interpreting something wrong, I will say, like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
Mhm.
this is what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. So, the next set of questions are progress, healing, and setbacks.
Healing is never linear, y'all.
Mm,
Ever.
no.
It ebbs and flows. Question number 1. What if I don't want to keep talking about the thing that you keep bringing up?
I like this one.
I do.
So, if it's something that we are processing, like a traumatic thing for the
Right.
first time, okay,
Fair.
fair, right? Because it's heavy
Yeah.
and we'll find a way to bring her back down.
Yeah.
If you keep avoiding my question, if you're coming in and like you never want to talk about like the very important thing, because I have someone who does that.
Especially if it's something they say they wanna work on.
Right. And like we know that this is the issue, but
Right.
I don't feel like talking about it right now. We're not getting anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, I'm going to challenge you. Those are the moments where I'm like, I feel like there's a discrepancy. Let's pull out that discrepancy. You
Yeah.
tell me this is what's going on, but you don't want to talk about it.
Right. 'Cause I can respect that.
Yeah, there's no healing that's going on there. Like we're going to be stuck in the same place.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so I'm definitely calling you out and challenging if I clinically feel that you need that challenge.
Right.
You know what I mean? Again, like if it's a moment where like, okay, you tried, but like you just can't right now. You know what I mean? Fair. Fair enough.
A for effort.
A for effort. Yeah.
Sometimes if I ask a client a question and I notice that they keep kind of, like, dancing around it, I will go right back to it and be like, "Hold on a second. I asked this, but we keep kind of, like, veering off. Is there something that you feel uncomfortable with? Or is this
Mhm.
something that you don't wanna discuss today?" And my style of therapy is very client driven, and I'm never going to force
Mhm.
somebody to talk about something because I know that that can cause, like,
Mhm.
more harm at times. But if I deliberately see you
Right.
avoiding something
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's, like something that feels important to where we're going in session today, we have to bring it back.
Right.
I'll be like, "Wait, let's circle back. Let's reel that back
Mhm.
in because this feels like it might be uncomfortable for you and I get that, but
Mhm.
this is your space."
Yeah. And the thing with that is they're uncomfortable because they don't want to feel.
Right.
And like, you're in here to feel.
Right, and, like, let's sit with that. Why do you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you feeling in your body right now that feels uncomfortable to you? And what is that? Let's label it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good.
So, next question. Is it normal to feel worse after therapy sometimes?
Sometimes. You should not be leaving every single therapy session distraught.
Feeling like shit.
Right.
Change your therapist.
Yes. Because one thing about me is I don't want my client leaving this space a little cray-cray.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always gonna be like, "Okay, I know that today was a little tough. How are we feeling? I know you came in feeling this way, but, like, do you feel any better at this point? Because I don't know that I feel comfortable sending you out like that."
Right.
So I'll have that conversation, and a lot of times, like, a client might be tearful or something like that, but we always kinda bring it back to, like, where are we on a scale of, like, 1 to 10? How are we feeling? But I think there are definitely times where you can leave feeling a little heavy. I mean, sometimes you unpack heavy things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you talk about things or make realizations or connect dots that you weren't expecting to connect.
Exactly. Sometimes that happens, and then you don't have enough time
Right.
to, maybe work through all, of it. And so when you go home, you have people who are overthinkers, and they'll start ruminating in their loop, and get
Right.
cyclical with things. So like it's possible, but like you said, I prefer, always having the client feel better
Yeah.
than they came in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I feel so lighter, I feel so much better.
Right.
I got that out. And if it is something heavy, always leave room for being able to bring it back,
Yeah.
reel it back in, and have them, end on a positive note.
One thing that I feel like this comes up in a lot is intake. Because the client comes into intake because, like, they're eager, they're ready, like, most of the time, right? Can't say that for everybody, but I always say at the end, like, whether we got through intake or not, because I know typically I don't ever get through in one session, but I'm always like, I know that I had to just ask you, like, a lot of personal questions, and we really had to dive into some heavy things. Um, we're gonna keep this going, but I just wanna make sure that you feel okay because, like, I know I'm not giving you any kind of resolution at this point. And most times, I feel like their response is, like, "I feel lighter. It felt good to just, like, let it out and talk about it." So I'm always like, "Okay, I just like to check in."
Hmm.
Because in your first session, you do have to go through everything.
I always be like, this is going to feel like an interview, like an
Yes.
interrogation, but we're going to get through it.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. And, at the end, bringing it all back, just leaving with hope. Like, this is what I see. What are you hoping for? Like, what are we going to
Yeah.
get there? This is how we're going to get there. Like, oh, I can't wait,
Right.
kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Good.
So, habits and coping.
Okay. So it's a good one.
This is because Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything isn't going to change overnight. It takes time.
Right.
So, throughout the healing process, just like I said, everything's not linear. So, I think sometimes clients come in and they're scared to admit that they relapsed, whether that's with drugs, whether that's with alcohol, whether that's with self harm, whether that's with any other poor coping mechanism you can think of. Will you judge me for that?
I get asked that often. No, my gosh. If anyone isn't aware how hard it is for someone struggling with addiction,
Mhm.
it's insane. It's extremely hard. And like, I can't even imagine. So, like, no, I'm never going to judge you for something like that. Obviously, because we know the backstory and, all of those things.
Right.
But my concern is always going to be like, are you safe?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about are you safe? Like, where are we right now? Let's get back to a good place. And
Yep.
sometimes that's me checking, like, do you need a higher level of care?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, making that realization, like, are we good to stay here? And like,
Yeah.
whatever that looks like. But no, no, it's a part, relapse is a part of the treatment,
Process.
the process. It is, it's going to happen.
Right. And I like how you said I want to make sure you're safe because I feel like that's always my like immediate response of, okay, let's kind of go through What happened before? What were you feeling? What could you have done differently? And let's kind of develop a plan, whether we write it out, write it down, type it in our phone, something, so that way when we feel this trigger again, we know that we have to try something else.
Yeah.
Safety plan.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. Next question. Is it okay to sometimes use unhealthy coping skills even while in therapy?
Yes. Because I think we have to work on finding what works.
Okay.
So I can give you a couple of things to try out throughout the week or 2 weeks, until I see you again, and it might not work. That might not be the fit for you. So naturally, I think you're going to tend to go back to what typically makes you feel good. And like we just said, relapse happens.
Mm-hmm.
We're not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Something really hard might come up where that coping skill just doesn't seem to be working.
Mm-hmm.
So I think naturally we're going to go back to what we know. Should we feel shameful about it? No. Should we process it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it happens.
Yeah. And like the timeline is different for everybody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And like, I would say, like, are you intentionally doing those things? Because if you're intentionally ignoring the healthy coping skills and then going back,
Right.
the ignoring the healthy ones and just continuing to choose unhealthy coping skills and then still showing up with no change because you're not trying, that's a whole different situation.
Yeah. That's
But like, I think in this, it's like, I'm still doing things and it's not perfect. Does that
Right.
mean that I can't come back into therapy until I get it right? No, we're going to get it right in here together.
let's
You know what I
practice.
mean? Like we all have unhealthy coping skills sometimes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or things that we do. So yeah, it's a process. It's healing.
Right. And I think it's important too because sometimes people try those things, right? Like we give them the skills and they may try, but it just doesn't feel like it's working. So I think sometimes that's how we end up going back to maybe the more poor coping skills. But definitely, like sometimes what we're practicing doesn't work. As long as you tried and you made an effort, I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't just ignore because then you gotta do the work.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So boundaries and honesty. I
Mm,
love boundaries.
that's my favorite word. You haven't said that in a while.
I know, because I tried not to say that because I feel like every word was like my favorite word. I'm like, do I
Your
really have
favorite
a
is
favorite?
boundaries and non-negotiable.
Yes.
That's it. Miss non-negotiable.
I know. Love that.
Okay. All right. So we kind of talked about this a little bit, but do you notice when I avoid your questions?
Yes.
Yes, bitch.
Yes. And I will call you out. Sometimes my clients be like, did I
I
do
hate when you do that.
or did I
hate when
do that
you're
again?
right.
Or did I do that again?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, let's circle back. Like, what's up? Why are you avoiding this?
Right. Let's tap in.
Because when you avoid things, things get bigger. And so if
Mhm.
you're avoiding things that are triggering you or that are uncomfortable, whatever the uncomfortable feeling is, psh, it's going to grow.
It absolutely is. Snowball effect.
Yeah. And then one day you're going to come up in here and you're going to crash out. And now instead of unpacking and doing this the right way, you just want to crash out on me. And now you're going to make me crash out. It's like,
You gonna make me have to work real hard.
Right.
And I don't want that.
Right. So last question. What if I don't feel safe opening up yet? Is something wrong with me for that?
No. And I really like this question because at intake, I always say, I know today is going to feel like a little bit comfortable because I do have to ask you all of these questions. But I understand that it takes time for us to get to know each other, for you to feel comfortable, for us to build a relationship. That's not going to happen quickly. Some people struggle with opening up because they've been hurt or burned or whatever. It's just part of the job. I can't and I don't take that personal.
Mm-mm.
I want you to feel safe here, and whatever we need to do for you to get there,
Yeah.
let's jump in.
There's no one size fits all.
Right.
There isn't. You have
Absolutely.
people who that's just like people who are so trusting, they're so open, and they're, like, friendly with everybody, and, like, everybody's your friend.
Right.
Like, that's just how people are sometimes, and then you have the complete opposite where, like, "Mm-mm, this got the 10 locks on it. You can't come
Where
past
you're, like,
this."
pulling
Yeah, exactly, and, like, it is what it is. That's the way, people show up sometimes. You gotta meet them where they at and work
Right.
with it, you know what I mean?
So, guys, therapy was built for things that you are afraid to say. Like Diana just said, there's no one size fits all. Sometimes it takes time to find your fit, but this space is for the hard things.
Yeah. So if you heard something today that hit you where it hurts,
Mhm.
that might be your sign or your invitation to go deeper.
And say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Hi, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode.
See you guys next week.
If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, please follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or send us an email to the platforms listed below.